Knowledge is power, so the adage goes. To the adepts of the Priory, this is a literal truth, as their group have been gathering the knowledge of Mythos for decades. The Priory believe it is the power by which humanity will be saved from the predations of corrupt governments, tainted cults, and horrific alien infiltrators in the Shadow War. Over the millennia, shamans, soothsayers, skalds, and scholars held the keys to the power of Mythos, but were unaware of its greater purpose. Those fortunate few used it sparingly and merely glimpsed behind the curtain to barely retain their sanity. As humanity became increasingly arrogant in their own manifest destiny, this precious lore of Mythos was discarded in favor of technology and the illusion of safety created by our increasingly modern world. With preternatural knowledge of the coming Shadow War, the secret of Madame Adrestia recruited Professor Zachary Lazarus in 1861. Lazarus had been viewed as brilliant expert in the arcane and occult, but something of an eccentric conspiracist by universities across the Union. Traits that bar him from serious tenure in academia, but made him an ideal leader for the Priory. Speaking to him through her intermediary, Adrestia explained to Lazarus that the Priory was an ancient institution, with members operating around the globe in roaming self-contained groups known as cells. Membership and recruitment to each cell is the responsibility of the cell's leader. Since founding his cell, Lazarus has built an eclectic team to fight for humanity in the Shadow War. It is Lazarus who meets with intermediaries, receives telegrams, or even the rare telephone call from the enigmatic Adrestia to help him plan the Lazarus cell's next mission. At times, Lazarus is aided in his strategic planning by Garrett Morden, the leader of another cell. Contact between cells is forbidden, to protect each from being compromised by another. However, after the Icarus incident, Adrestia introduced Morden as an infrequently encountered ally. Lazarus finds him a firm friend and one of the only people he can confide in at these difficult times. Morden guards Lazarus' secrets as though they were his own, giving them the same safeguard as he does to the identity of his own cell members. Morden has seen at first hand Lazarus' formidable will and distinctly bohemian tastes, often found talking in earnest to his cat Zeus. More curious is that the creature seems to understand the detail of Professor's discussion and obliges with various acts of infiltration and observation for the Priory. Curious and curiouser, the anarchist archaeologist Abigail Halsey is an invaluable member of a Lazarus cell, and her discoveries and research are often instrumental in overcoming many of the challenges they face. It was Abigail who discovered the journal of Rabbi Judah Lo Ben Bezalel and the Mythos secrets for creating the golem Maharal. This 15-foot-tall, animated clay monstrosity provides the muscle for the Lazarus cell on their missions. For what Maharal lacks in subtlety, it more than makes up for with brute force. Though Abigail feels an attraction to the dashing Garrett Morden, Maharal seems to take an irrational dislike to the man, and so far, her attempts to explore a possible romance has been thwarted by her gigantic chaperone. Bertie Smythe was a decorated British pilot who took early retirement from the Crown Air Corps after the bloody conflict known as the Caribbean Hurricane left him a changed man. He will not speak of what he saw in that dawn encounter in the clouds, nor of the fate of his squadron. Wielding a flamethrower, it is hard liquor and endless cigarettes that fuels his determination to right this unspoken injustice. Weapons such as Bertie's require constant maintenance, as does much of the Lazarus cell's equipment. Fortunately, they can rely on the mechanically minded Kitty Page, the most recent recruit to the cell. Kitty joined the cell after their mission in Providence against cultists worshipping the sunken pantheon. Though still learning much of their war against the Fell Powers, Kitty is comforted that their mortal adversaries in the Shadow War seem to be as susceptible to bullets and burning as everyone else in the Priory. Well, everyone except Maharal, of course.